YouTube football have had some iconic moments in the past. We could add another one to that, and that is Chris ranking them because he had an absolute shocker. The comments were roasting him. And today, ladies and gentlemen, off the back of Simon doing it and getting a lot of praise, I'm gonna give my expertise and rank YouTube's greatest moments. We have the same tiers as Simon and Chris did in their videos. We've got GOAT tier, hang it in the Louvre, Streets won't forget, Streets may forget, and won't be remembered after 2030. Now, I feel like Chris is a little bit biased towards himself. Never seen him do that before. So I'm gonna try and remain unbiased and base it off, what I grew up and watched and what I obviously think. Chris's flicks over Jamie Carragher and Robert Perez. I've seen this too many times. Don't get me wrong, this is an amazing clip, especially for Chris, He probably has some bias towards it because it's him who did it and over his icon Perez and whatever. But realistically, other than ChrisMD himself, who's actually remembering that? I personally have forgotten about it. That's too harsh, isn't it? That's too harsh. No, realistically, it's a cool moment, but it is going to be forgotten, or it won't be remembered after 2030. I want to put it his Streets won't forget. Oh, this is a tricky one. You know what? Fuck Chris. He's going in Streets may forget. That is a cool moment, but I feel like for him personally, it's a lot bigger than it was. Sorry, Chris. Chris's solo effort. I think this was the game where it was 2-0. It was one of the poorer charity matches. It was 2-0 to the All-Stars. It was one goal at the start of the match, and then Chris scored the second goal in the 89th minute or something. It's the 89th minute. Look, I will say this. He takes this goal so well, and he puts it past Charlie Morley, who's a sensational keeper. That goal was class, but in terms of moments and charity match in football, the game was poor. It was only 2-0. It wasn't an 8-7, an exciting game to watch. It is a great finish from Chris, but in terms of YouTube football moments, it's not that high, is it? I feel like Streets may forget it. Is that harsh? Screw it, man. Chris, sorry, you're going in Streets may forget. If you're comparing Bates and Shorts to that goal by Chris, Bates and Shorts is above it. The tier list represents that. It has to. However, I'll pay credit where credit's due. This goal you scored against the world's tallest keeper is a joke. He calls it as well, the bounce in front of me. The edit on it was iconic as well, Chris, to be fair to you. You've absolutely nailed the edit with this little cinema scene. Oh, he's done really well. The editing team's pulled one out of the bag here, it is good. Oh, look at that goal, man. It's absolute stanch, half volley. The amount of swaz on it is a joke. It's against a pro keeper, who's about 7 feet tall as well. Oh, but this is what I mean. Stuff in videos like that, it's not as iconic as, I don't know. You know what? No, Chris, Streets won't forget that goal, because that goal was quite gnarly, I can't lie. ChrisMD versus Portsmouth free kick. You can tell Chris made this list, can't you? Just whacking in any of his good goals that he scored. Oh yeah, it's a great goal. And I think I remember he told me he took 4 weeks or something to make this goal or recreate this goal. It is pretty cold. It is pretty good, I can't lie. That's a really nice goal. Yeah. Okay, fair play, Chris. Oh, the way it moves as well. Yeah, that's pretty rascalized. However, he won't be remembered after 2030. Let's be honest, Chris. Sorry, pal. Oh, look at that! It's another ChrisMD in his own list. When he frauded the entire world, mate, that got hundreds of millions of views there. It was on news outlets all over the world. This is crazy. I will say this as well. This has got to be one of the best edited things Chris has ever done, I believe, because I fell for it at the time. It's actually really good. It's actually an incredible edit. I don't know how he did it. Does he show? He does show how he does it. But even so, it's still very impressive. I actually think this will be Streets won't forget when ChrisMD frauded the entire world that his cat was basically Manuel Neuer. Fair play, Chris and Smudge, who sadly is, well, we don't really talk about Smudge anymore, do we? Next up, we have Chris's missed penalty. Oh no, poor little Chris, man. Chris misses a penalty in front of 15,000 people, plus a lot more online. There's no one even there looking at him. He had it. No one's there to put him off except Hugh Wizzy. That is just one of the worst pens I've ever seen, by the way. That's not even gone any of the corners. It's gone down the middle. I'm not forgetting that. We won't forget that, Chris. No one's forgetting that. Sorry, mate. That's going in Streets won't forget. This is the greatest goal ever scored on YouTube, isn't it? By Connor, Chris's editor at the time. Look how ridiculous this goal is, man. They're about to end the shoot. Look at that volley. That is absolutely insane. Chris holding the camera. No one believes what they've just seen. Mate, That is so good. However, saying that, streets may forget it. Sorry, but it's just the way it is. If Chris had scored that though, we would not be hearing the end of it. Next up, we got Simon smashing Shannon's car. That's a tough one for Chris to take, isn't it, really? I remember I was in this video actually, and we wanted to break that window so bad, and that car was just taking beating after beating, and it just wouldn't break until Simon's right peg absolutely sends that window into oblivion. However, it won't be remembered after 2030, really. I feel like I'm being harsh to Chris because he's actually not got one in Hang It in the Louvre or Goat, which I feel like is wrong. But also, he's gonna have to hold that. I'm gonna put Streets May Forget Simon smashing the window.